Well, hello and welcome or welcome back to Read Becca. It's time again for our July TBRs, and I'm very excited, but I'm also kind of planning to shun events this month. I know there are a couple of really, really wonderful ones coming up, especially Jane Austen July, but I realized I kind of need to put some priority into reading sequels that I haven't done so far this year. So let's dive into my very short and yet long in terms of pages TBR. So the first book I have is a continuation from last month, which is going to be Peg and Rose Stir Up Trouble by Lauren Berenson. This is a cozy mystery series, the second in the Senior Sleuths cozy mysteries, and we're following Peg and Rose, obviously. In this one, Peg apparently, who is a widow, is deciding to jump back into the dating market, and the first person she goes on a date with dies. And so, as per usual in a cozy mystery, the amateur sleuths are going to start investigating into it. And I'm particularly intrigued that they're cats this time rather than dogs, so I love that. The next one that I have is a continuation of a middle grade series that I started last year, and that is Mossflower by Brian Jakes. This is a fantasy. It is very action-packed and full of drama, surprisingly dark for kids' books, but these are really wonderful and very descriptive, like really rich sense of place and setting and food. So I really enjoyed Redwall and want to continue on with the adventures of Barton the mouse. And then I have a continuation that I started a couple of years ago, yet again fantasy. This is a kind of historical fantasy, very Austen-esque, so maybe this isn't my take for Jane Austen July, but this is Miss Percy's Travel Guide to the Welsh Moors and Feral Dragons. In book one, we had Miss Percy, a spinster who was in her early 40s and had given up her life caring for her family as governess to her sister's children, more or less, and lived with them. And then was willed some strange rocks and papers by a mysterious relative. And of course those rocks were dragon eggs. Easy to figure out. And so she starts chronicling in Miss Percy's guide in the first book the experience of the first dragons to be seen in England in quite some time. This one obviously is going to Wales, which I'm excited about, and I'm just very stoked to continue on with Miss Percy because she's a delightful character. And then lastly, I have two very big books, and that's Ninth House and Hellbent, which I'm not going to show you because I hate that cover. But I have both of these. I am intending to read Hellbent, the second book in this series by Leigh Bardugo. This is a contemporary fantasy set in academia, and it's all about secret societies that are sort of magical and have connections with ghosts. So very spooky, very dark vibes in these. Very, very graphic and violent as well. So I don't know if I need to reread Ninth House. I think I'm going to jump into Hellbent, see how I'm picking it up, and then decide whether to just read Hellbent or reread Ninth House. And that's why I have both of these. But I kind of am leaning toward rereading Ninth House because I read it at the same time as The Starless Sea. And both books, Ninth House and Starless Sea, have really, really similar imagery, iconography, and kind of keywords. Key is one of the keywords, comes up all throughout both of the books. So that was a little bit muddling, I would say. So I might want to reread Ninth House because of that. But I did very much enjoy Ninth House, and so that's why I want to continue on. I know I really liked it, and it left us with a lot of questions at the end. So yeah, very excited to be getting into this series as well. So also definitely the last, no, 4 out of 5 of those count for Big Book Summer. So these are all over 400 pages, which is amazing. So if I could get all of those done, that would be lovely, though I'm not aiming to. I would like to get at least 2 or 3 of the big books done, plus everything I have still ongoing from June. So I think that is it for my reading plans for July. That was a quick and easy one, and the fact that I'm skipping all the events kind of helps with that. But I have been really, really needing to prioritize some series reading because I have been letting that go by the wayside. all year this year, and I really want to put some focus in that area before I'm back to booktube prize reading in August for the final round. So yes, we need to shift focus for a little bit here. I will still be reading other things, but sequels are going to be my priority this month. So that is it for me today. Thank you so very much for watching.